day, viewer. You're most welcome to the Nilecast on Westnile Television, where we give you the daily news bulletins of the day every day. My name is Okumringa Christine. Before we dive into any of the stories, let's first have a look at the news making headlines. In the headlines tonight, Energy Minister commissions rural electrification power lines in Yumbe District. Persons with disabilities call for training on how to handle Myoga funds in Arua City. And Bishop Ordinary Nebi Diocese urges students to desist from alcoholism. This and more in the Nilecast News Bulletin. Good day, viewer. Again, you're most welcome to the Nilecast on Westnile Television. Now let us dive into some of the stories of the evening. The locals in Yumbe District, both refugees and host communities, can join the rest of Ugandans in benefiting from electricity. This is after the rural electrification power lines extended to the district were commissioned yesterday by Minister for Energy and Mineral Development, Honorable Ruth Nakabirwa. Dennis Saringi reports more.
The refugees and the host communities living in Bidi Refugee Settlement Zone 1, together with the residents of Arafa sub-county in Yumbe District, have the reason to smile and make good use of the electricity in transforming their lives. This is after the rural electrification power lines were commissioned by the Minister of Energy and Minerals Development, Ruth Nakabirwa, accompanied by area members of parliament, State Minister of Defense for Veteran Affairs, and district officials. Speaking during the commissioning of the first ever power line in the settlement at Twajiji Primary School in Bidi Settlement, the minister hails the founders for the support extended to the government of the Republic of Uganda to have the rural communities in Uganda connected to the power grid, and she urges the locals to make good use of the power to transform their lives.
We had a group of 3 financiers who helped us to work on power distribution in this part. We had the Exim Bank of China, the Kuwait funding, and the Norwegian, the Royal Kingdom of Norway. We must concentrate now on value addition. Now that everybody is talking about parish development model, we have to attract more support from those who support refugees, because the gesture that you talked about, Chair LC3, where you sign agreements for your brothers and sisters to use the land, 5-year lease agreement, we must build on that goodwill that you have showed.
The district leaders hailed the government of the Republic of Uganda for the extension of the electricity to the district and pledged to mobilize community to make good use of the facility.
Out of the 179 educational institutions, only 5 are connected to electricity, and this represents 2.8%. If we are talking of only 5 out of the 179, Honorable Minister, this still remains a very big challenge. We're extremely grateful that you are here, and through your commitment, we hope that the 179 educational institutions will be connected to electricity to enhance performance of our children.
Use the extended power lines for productive purposes so as to promote economic development. All the people have been gifted and talented differently to work hard and develop. Therefore, I'm encouraging you to work hard in order to become rich.
This is a clear indicator that government is not sitting on the manifesto of the NILE ruling government, whereby rural electrification is one of the key manifestos.
However, the Minister Ruth Nakabirwa warns the locals against vandalizing the facilities, extending to them, saying that those who will be caught shall face the law of this country.
Ever be tempted to vandalize those lines, because now the punishment is equivalent to terrorism.
Some of the locals who witnessed the commissioning of the electricity project in the district could not hide their excitement, saying that they are ready to make good use of the facility.
We shall be able to buy refrigerators to make drinks, to make cold drinks. We shall be able to, actually create. It will create a lot of jobs for the Uganda youth.
We are going to make an income generating activities, especially for the youth. We're going to have garages where we're going to have welding machines for the reluctant youth to get income.
As the power lines have been finally extended to the rural communities of Yumbe district, what remains a big question is the affordability of the electricity to the locals who have never had experience of the usage of the electricity in their life. Dennis Oringi, Westnile TV, Nilecast.
And more in our stories for the evening. Persons with disabilities living in Arua City are appealing to the government of Uganda to provide training on how to make proper usage of the Emyoga government funds. This appeal was made during the Arua Central Division Emyoga Sacco annual general meeting in Arua City on the 7th of July 2023. Farish Majid reports more.
Persons living with disability in Arua City under the Sacco Group Arua Central Division PWD Emyoga Sacco have appealed to the government and other stakeholders to provide proper training on how to handle the Emyoga funds. This was during the group's first annual general meeting that happened yesterday at the former Arua Hill Division head offices in Arua City. Charlie Gonza Aziz Alahai, the chairperson of the group, emphasizes the need of retraining of the members on how the Sacco Group operates.
Most of the members who have joined this Sacco do not know anything to do with the penalty, to do with the shares, to do with the, let me say, all in all those things they do not know. So whenever a person as chairperson tells them that according to the bylaw of Sacco, this is what you are supposed to do, you find that they usually jump away and they say no, that such things should not be there. No, and that is why up to now shares has not been bought. There is nothing like fine, even if they delay with their money. If they want to put fine on them because of delaying for the money, they cannot pay, they refuse. When you talk of penalty, you find that they will refuse. They cannot, agree to pay the penalty. So that is the reason why one of the reasons why I'm getting a lot of challenges.
Meanwhile, Aiko Jobel, the city commercial officer at Arua City, says for SACCOs to grow, they need training of the members.
SACCOs, for them to grow, they need training. Why they need training? Little has been known about cooperatives by many in the bigger public. So with the training, they get to know how cooperatives are run, managed. They understand also the concepts of cooperatives, and other issues. It only comes through training. This is the form of business where you find there are thousands of members. I like sole trade, I like partnership, and I like company. So for a society to run well, a corporate society to run well, it needs regular training. Even it's provided for in the Corporate Act.
However, Adakuru Bitres, a member of the association, expressed dismay with some of the entities responsible for training the members, as they only train very few members and sometimes also ask for money in order to train them.
For them, they take that the training of the members of the SACCO, it needs money because they're working with money. But they don't think about our life and our future can be. For them, they focus on money. Like, imagine in Emyoga Sacco, you only pick 3 members to go and train. But sometimes these 3 members, they might be inactive. How will others access the information? So it is hard. Like also our Sacco, because in our main Sacco, we have 5 small groups. Now, out of these 5 small groups, they can only train maybe only the 3 members in the Sacco. How will the rest of the group access the information. So it is really a challenge in our group. Please, microfinance, help us. Don't think of the money. Money will not bury you. The person who can bury you, it is us as human beings.
Emyoga, that's like a number of other government interventions such as the Operation Wealth Creation, the Youth Livelihood, the Ntandikwa, and the recent being the Parish Development Model are meant to transform the masses out of poverty. But one way the government would actually make this dream a reality is by first educating the masses before disbursing the funds. Farish Majid, Westnile TV Nowcast.
More in our stories for the evening. Ministry of Health, with support from Sight Savers, an organization aimed at promoting eye care through optical corrections and surgeries, is currently in Arua City, equipping the village health teams with ophthalmology skills in order to identify patients affected with trachoma, an eye disease caused by bacterium Chlamydia trachomatis that, if left untreated, can lead to blindness. Baguma Dai Mafunzo, the focal person for malaria and neglected tropical disease, is appealing to the community of Arua City to take advantage of the free services being provided by the Ministry of Health and present cases of trachoma to the village health teams if respected in the respective villages for treatment. Let's have more in that story. The Ministry of Health, with support from Sight Savers, an organization that aims at promoting eye health care through optical corrections and surgeries, is currently in Arua City undertaking a project of equipping health teams with ophthalmology skills so as to identify patients affected with trachoma trichiasis in order to provide optical correction and optical services free of charge. During a press briefing at the former Arua Hill Division offices in Arua City, Baguma Dai Mafuns, the Arua City malaria focal person and neglected tropical disease focal person, stated that village health teams in every village in Arua City have obtained ophthalmology skills in order to identify patients with trachoma trichiasis.
The current strategy is that the ministry has received support from an organization called the Sight Savers, who is currently in Arua City undertaking the project of doing surgeries or corrections to the eye, which has resulted from trachoma. Trachoma is caused by a bacteria called Chlamydia trachomatis and transmitted by a fly. The fly is of Musa domestica species. And the strategy we have is we have trained the village health teams in every village in Arua City. VHTs have been trained to identify cases of trachoma. So the VHTs have been empowered with the skills of ophthalmology, that is dealing with the eye. They are able to identify eye problems, especially leading those ones which have resulted from trachoma, that is the trachomatis trichiasis. They are able to identify them. They will be moving from, the VHTs will be moving from home to home in the whole village, in the entire village. They will be moving from home to home, checking into the eyes of everybody in the family or in that household, in the entire village. They already know cases, how to identify cases of trachomatis trichiasis, that is TT. They already know. They will identify those cases, they will list them down, and the cases they identify will be presented to the technical team, that is the surgeons of the eye, who will come in a specific date which will be communicated, who will come and confirm those cases which were identified by the VHTs. After confirming and finding active cases of trachomatis, that is TT, which will require surgery or operation, then they will schedule together with the VHT of that village in a place within the community, preferably the health facility or school within that village. They will select a place and come and do operations or surgeries. The surgeries for TT or trachomatis should not scare anybody in the public. The surgeries will be done today and tomorrow. You are in a normal business of seeing and doing your own things. They should not scare public that you are going to be operated and you will be down for 1 month, 1 year, and so on. Therefore, people start running away. The correction is just like 30 minutes to 1 hour, but after that, you start your normal activities or business. You start seeing normally.
Bagumadai Mafuns, the focal person for neglected tropical diseases and malaria focal person, is appealing to the communities in Arua City and the West Nile region to cooperate and present cases of trachoma trachiasis so as to take advantage of the free services being provided by the Ministry of Health.
The biggest appeal is for the community, the entire people of Arua City, Westnile, to cooperate and present by yourselves cases of vision impairment. Present them to the VHT yourself if you have such cases. Even before the VHT comes to you, you can as well present yourself, and this is an opportunity for you to treat yourselves, to do surgeries free of charge.
The village health teams of Arua City are currently moving to every household in their respective villages, providing eye examinations in order to identify patients with trachoma. Trachoma is an eye disease caused by a bacterium Chlamydia trachiasis that, if left untreated, can lead to blindness. Okumuringa Christine, for Westnile Television, Nilecast. And more in our stories for the evening. The Bishop of Nebi Catholic Diocese, Right Reverend Raphael Ponyi Wokorach, has called upon the students of Nebi Diocese to desist from alcoholism that is detriment to their academic performance in schools. He made this remark this afternoon while addressing students in the St. Augustine Secondary School, Paida, during his pastoral visit to the school situated in Paida Town Council, Zombo District. Alfred Jawok reports more.
As Catholic faithful join the rest of the world to celebrate St. Maria Goretti Day, the Bishop of Nebi Catholic Diocese, Right Reverend Raphael Ponyi Wokorach, has called upon students in Nebi Diocese to desist from alcoholism that detriment to academic performance in schools. He made this remark this afternoon while addressing students of St. Augustine Secondary School, Paida, during his pastoral visit at the school situated in Paida Town Council, Zombo District. The bishop equally blamed poor performance of most students to abuse of drugs that leads them to night discos, which weakens the learning capacities of learners.
From excelling, you should not activities that may divert your capacity from excelling, and this will be the things that you can avoid in order to focus on the path of excellence. Probably when we talk with people who are ahead, with teachers, parents, and all those who love us, those who care about us, they let us know. They let us know by saying, my dear child, my dear daughter, my dear son, you know, if you want to do well in school, you must avoid certain things. And these certain things, we need to name them. In our places here, part of the challenges is that we may be indulged even in alcohol. We may be indulged even in drugs. And if we get indulged in these things, what will happen? We won't go ahead. We shall be weak academically. Our will, our intelligence will be obscured by the power of these things that we want to take in life. And this, I think, is a common sense stuff that you can also understand. Avoiding what can weaken your capacity to grasp and follow the education in the way that it should. Learning to avoid this. We know that activities that can distract us and weaken our capacity to be attentive and good students. One of them, we can even underline, is the discord that may still be a challenge for us.
The bishop in his pastoral visit confirmed 58 students into the sacrament of confirmation and blessed students who took part in students' leadership.
Hereby swear that as a head prefect, I will pay true allegiance to authorities of Bida Street Secondary School and obey school rules and regulations. So help me God. Another one. Continue. I, hereby swear that I shall faithfully serve Bida Street Secondary School in the office of head prefect and obey all school rules, regulations, and authority as established by regulation. So help me God.
Last time, a recent study by Life Concern, a non-governmental organization in Zombo district, indicated that over 60% of youths in the district hardly read and write. However, stakeholders believe the issue of night discourse, drug abuse, and alcoholism among learners is more of a moral act notwithstanding. Zombo district had started the process of its education ordinance that many leaders hope will address some challenges that are setbacks to education in the area. St. Maria Goretti is celebrated on every 6th July annually in the Catholic faith to remember the saints. Alfred Jawok, Westnile TV, Nilecast.
And more in our stories for the evening. Sweet potato farmers in Marata district have asked the government of Uganda to construct for them a value addition facility as a processing plant for their raw materials to enhance the profitability and avoid waste arising from bamba harvests. Frederick Dramadri reports more.
Welcoming you to Marata District Headquarters along Karua Koboko Highway. Your eyes are overwhelmed with sweet potatoes packed in sacks awaiting for customers. This due to insufficient market. Farmers are cheated by the middlemen who come to purchase the raw materials in the district.
Kakumi mako abara me traki grupu me muke mako de lere ba mi grupu mi iki transporte ba dimine mako de lere pari ba ni tsazo nezo aleni aba orudri sumuka rare
totone yomani suire waro maratane ovuzo mako ma aliare ni mako sazo mingi nakana adrezo yorsi olani na amvuni naka gazo sirsi marta de ben zaidi mako sa te zaidi transport pd ke amafu de are ke sa de ke divina man de ati devini dipendi send minisu transporting no kwa family juzir mon bovosi.
According to some of the farmers, the use of rudimentary tools and lack of nearby markets to absorb the production capacity of the district are some of the major factors limiting them. Asuma Francis Wellborn, another farmer, testifies that they earn little profits from the potatoes sold in the outside markets due to the losses they incur in the transportation costs. He therefore asked relevant authorities to provide value addition facilities and ready market for the product.
Transport is the major challenge. Those who sacrifice at least to offer transport, they charge very high. Now when you go to Panyamur, you add all the expenses from here to Panyamur and coming back. You get something just very little. Now when they take it to a Germany, a sack right now can be 150, but here they buy it at 90. You overcharged. Let me say working, preparing potato. First, you organize people to dig it for you. Then you should have women to wash it, to clear that, to wash it, to remove this soil. Then you have those people packing it, plus the transport. And the body transport also. How much do you think? You go to Panyamo, a sack, they take it, the sack is 38,000. And I don't know what, right now it has gone to 10. And a person, perhaps the transporter, is also the same as the sack, 10. Plus loading. When you add all these things, expenses, my friends, you are getting it is like going to a zoo. That's how Panyamu is. But not to say that you go there to get money.
The sweet potatoes, as an alternative crop to the tobacco that has been devastating the region, has been the only cash crop for the farmers in Westnile region. This has been preferred as one of the most valuable crop due to its ability to be transformed as both food and cash. But the Deputy Resident District Commissioner Maracha District, Kolibako Tevu, insists that the sweet potatoes grown in the district are the only identity to the district and encourage the farmers to join the available government programs that are running, including the Paris Development Model, to transform them.
We are a production zone for food. And I want to report to you that Maracha is very good in production of sweet potatoes. This time the entire region comes to buy sweet potatoes from here. People from Omoyo, people from Arua, people from Nebi, people from all this region. Even if potato is exported up to Kampala. So Maracha is good at that, and I want to implore the business community of Maracha and our farmers to take it up, because this has been something which has identified Maracha in the globe.
However, Maracha East Constituent Member of Parliament Ruf Ontoro Lematia has asked government to venture into investing on value addition in order for the country to realize enhanced revenue, livelihood and a push of the country to the middle income status.
And they should let us know what value addition can be done to the potatoes within ourselves here. I know what they can do with the potatoes. Usually they would, split it or treat it as the cassava is being treated and have the dry ones. But that one is kept for the season where potatoes are not growing. That's not enough. I think it is also time for us to look for such alternative so that it becomes a trade within Maracha, because it's doing very well. That's it.
Uganda Investments Authority estimates that Uganda produces 2.5 metric tons of sweet potatoes per year, ranking the country one of the top 5 producers of sweet potatoes globally. And if the country invests into the processing, this will earn Uganda $47 billion by 2028, arising from the global demand. Frederick Tamadri, Westnile TV, Nilecast.
And more in our stories for the evening. The Resident District Commissioner, Adjumani District, requests partners to assist Maryland Health Center 3 to repair their ambulance after it got an incident by the heavy rain and heavy winds that left them without an ambulance on the 17th of June 2023. Let's have more on that story.
The Resident District Commissioner Adjumani requests partners to help Maryland Health Center 3 to repair their ambulance that got incident by heavy rain combined with the heavy wind that left them without ambulance on 17th of May 2023. Mr. Tabanda Tapita, the Resident District Commissioner Adjumani, said that the ambulance was destroyed by heavy rain combined with the heavy wind that pushed the tree to fall on the ambulance that was parked at health center facility.
This ambulance does not belong to Maryland, but it belongs to Adjumani, because many times it has supported us during accidents, during immunization programs, during emergencies, particularly when we have those issues within the district. We use all these ambulances as our ambulances. It's so unfortunate that this ambulance was parked in the compound, and during one of the rains, a very heavy big tree landed on it, as you can see the picture. And I felt it very important that as one of the ambulances that supports all of us, I've tried to request our partners as a social program to support our people, if there would be any, to look at it and see how it can be put back on road. And therefore I've called it to come here so that these people can come and look at it, and we see how they can support us to put it back on road. Because so far now we have outreach programs which were used. We use these ambulances. Now they are not, it's not going to happen, and that means we are going to miss meeting our obligation of supporting and treating our people. And that's why it is here.
Mr. Taban also said that this ambulance is not only for Maryland, but it is for everyone, especially during COVID-19. It really helps many people.
I do trust that with our good relationship, coordination and partnership, it will be taken care of so that it can be put back on the road to support our people.
Reporting for Westnile TV, Onjima Alan, Nilecast, Adjumani.
And now for business, let's look at our international forex exchange rates. And with that, viewer, we've come to the end of the Nilecast on Westnile Television. Thank you for being with us from the beginning of the Nilecast to the end of the Nilecast, only on Westnile Television. Please stay tuned to the rest of the subsequent programs that may follow. My name is Ukumiringa Christine. Have a good day.